And right now, no major issues to report across the metro area. We did have a full closure happening near 225 in Iliff, but that already cleared up. So it's going to be a nice day, especially for everyone's Friday morning.
It is going to be a nice day. We're talking about these warm temperatures. Broke a record just yesterday. Are we going to break another record and even warmer temperatures as we head into the weekend? We're going to break all the details down for you.
All right, and we'll get you out the door with your weather impact forecast in just a minute. But first, we're tracking a story that actually shook downtown Denver. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. We appreciate you being with us on this Friday, but yes, shook. We are talking about a gas station. It exploded yesterday afternoon. This was at the Shell on West 5th Avenue and Bryant Street. That's just east of Federal between Barnum Park and the South Platte River.
And that is where we find 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon this morning to walk us through what happened out there. Courtney?
Hey, good morning, Jenny and Katie. So Denver fire investigators, they believe that the explosion was caused by natural gas and originated inside of the building. I'm going to have my photographer, Alex Dickey, give you guys a little bit of a closer look of the scene here. You can see also that a small section of Bryant Street is closed off between 5th and 6th Avenue. So 2 people were inside the building here at the gas station when that explosion happened, and they were taken to the hospital with blast and burn injuries. Firefighters were called to the scene around noon yesterday, and when they got here, the entire building was engulfed in flames. It was so badly burned that it was too dangerous for firefighters to go inside. A vehicle behind the building was also on fire. Just down the street, employees at Imperial Sport Bikes heard a loud crash followed by a giant plume of smoke. Fearing that the fire might spread, staff shut down the shop and sheltered inside.
That's a gas station. They have fuel pumps, and that could spread quickly. Immediately, we closed our doors because it was pretty toxic. It was ash in the air and smell.
Denver Fire was able to knock down the flames within a few hours. And again, investigators believe that it was caused by natural gas, but they're still looking into it. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
Courtney, thank you. Let's turn our attention now to the forecast, starting with a live look this morning over Coors Field. Baseball's coming soon. It could be another record-breaking day in what has been a historic heat wave. Weather impact meteorologist Jaden Knowles joins us now from the 9 News backyard. You said it's quite lovely out there this morning, but it's only getting hotter.
It feels really nice right now. I mean, this is usually the temperature where we're at for our high this time of year, but unfortunately, warmer temperatures as we head into this afternoon, talking about the mid to upper 80s, maybe even some low 90s across the state. We're going to break all that down for you. But first, looking outside right now, or should I say that record that we saw yesterday, 85 degrees. And of course, that makes the warmest temperature on record for the month of March. That old record was 84 set back in 1971. And guess what? What's forecasted today is 85 degrees once again. And that daily record is 80 degrees. So yes, to sum it up, more records being broken as we head into this weekend. Current temperatures right now on the warmer and mild side. We're in the low to mid 50s as well as the upper 40s at the airport, 54 degrees here in our 9 News backyard. Temperatures across the entire state, we're seeing the upper 40s for the eastern plains, 20s and 30s across the high country. And look at the western slope, the low 50s there in Grand Junction. I mean, we're seeing the warm temperatures across the entire state thanks to that strong high pressure system. Unfortunately, no precipitation in my forecast. We're going to see lots of sunshine as we head into this afternoon. And overall, there's that record set back in 1907. Later on in the show, we'll talk more in details about what to expect heading into this weekend, as well as the timing of the first day of spring. Overall, Brownie, how are those road conditions right now?
Yeah, right now we are taking a look from Sky 9 of this crash along Alameda and Havana. I mentioned this crash about an hour ago. Now we're seeing the impacts to that intersection, especially we're taking Alameda heading westbound this morning. So it looks like 2 vehicles were involved. We have Aurora police kind of blocking the intersection. Also, crews are cleaning up the debris on the intersection as well, and a tow truck is there. So just keep that in mind, especially if this is part of your morning drive. I do want to show you other parts of the Denver metro area, taking a look from our CDOT cameras. I-25 at 6th Avenue, no issues to report. And then same story if you're in the Lakewood area, leaving Wadsworth, Kipling, Sheridan, Federal into I-25 this morning. I do want to switch things over to our main maps, kind of give you the rundown of that crash along Alameda and Havana. Again, this is the only crash that I'm tracking. We had an earlier closure happening along 225 in Iliff. That is no longer the case. That crash already cleared up. You could see our interstate's pretty quiet this morning.
Thank you for the update. Well, this year, Denver will not celebrate Cesar Chavez Day. Instead, the city will rename the occasion to Si Se Puede Day. It translates to Yes, You Can, and it's the motto of the United Farm Workers of America. This change comes after the late civil rights leader was accused of sexual misconduct. City leaders announced these changes yesterday, and crews started covering up the signs, the bust, and plaque at Cesar Chavez Park. City leaders say what comes next will come out of community conversations.
We will take the time to come together as a community and determine what that space should represent moving forward. Because the labor movement, the farm worker movement, that history is bigger than any one person. It belongs to the people, la raza. It belongs to the workers.
Dolores Huerta was a close ally of Chavez. She just went public with an assault allegation against Chavez, and she's the one who came up with the farm worker slogan. But officially changing the name, that will take some time.
Denver's auditor is raising concerns with how the mayor and his team are tracking the spending on their huge plan to fight homelessness. An audit released just yesterday found the city had no formal process of tracking expenses of the program. It's called All In Mile High. The auditor's office says that program lacks the necessary planning to ensure effective use of taxpayer money. It uses data that can't be verified to determine success, and ultimately the audit made 12 recommendations. The mayor's office, though, disputes 5 of them.
An audit is a little bit like a dental exam. Like the dentist comes in and talks about the one tooth that's got some challenges, not the 31 teeth that are in good shape.
The auditor says All In Mile High has cost $20 million more than the city's accounting for that program when you include rental assistance, emergency hotel vouchers, and cold weather shelters. The mayor's office says those costs should not be included because they're not directly part of the homelessness initiative.
Governor Jared Polis's administration is asking for more money to expand the state's prison system. That is despite the state bracing for a projected $1 billion shortfall. The administration asked budget writers for the money to fund 1 or possibly 2 new prisons to address overcrowding at the jails. In a letter, the governor's budget office said the Department of Correction will need a minimum 5-year contract for more prison beds and to potentially use closed private prisons. It is expected to cost $150 to $200 million to buy and renovate prisons. Well, the administration is suggesting to use $100 million from the state's emergency reserve.
Right now, state lawmakers are in the middle of a marathon debate over a variety of gun control bills at the state capitol. One proposal would require background checks and minimum age requirements for gun barrel purchases. Democrats are also running a proposal to expand the list of people who can request an emergency protection order, which would allow a court to temporarily confiscate someone's guns if they are deemed a danger to themselves or others. And a third bill would add new restrictions on firearms dealers, requiring them to submit security plans to the state and fine the dealers who don't comply with those state requirements. Republicans in the House offered up dozens of amendments, most of which were shot down. Those bills will likely all pass, but they could face legal challenges from gun advocacy groups should they become law.
The city of Denver is joining a lawsuit challenging the EPA's elimination of the finding that greenhouse gases cause public health harm. And the greenhouse gas endangerment finding, that has been the foundation of climate regulations in the state since 2009. The Trump administration said the finding hurts industry and the economy, and Denver, along with 35 other states and cities, argue that the EPA is in violation of its legal obligations and its mission to protect public health and welfare.
Jeffrey Epstein's longtime attorney is denying having any role in Epstein's crimes. This comes after lawmakers pressed him about the late sex offender's finances. Darren Indyke testified before the House Oversight Committee yesterday. Indyke worked for Epstein for more than 2 decades, and he told lawmakers had he known about Epstein's crimes, he would have cut ties immediately. He also pushed back on claims that he withdrew cash on Epstein's behalf to avoid bank scrutiny.
Former FBI Director James Comey has been subpoenaed as part of an investigation into a controversial FBI operation. The U.S. Attorney for Florida's Southern District is leading the probe. They're looking into how the FBI and the intelligence community, in their 2016 investigation into President Trump, and according to an earlier Justice Department review, the FBI misled a secret federal court so they could get permission to conduct surveillance on the president's 2016 campaign. Comey's attorney and the U.S. Attorney who issued the subpoena have not talked yet about it publicly.